presentation. Yes,
No
2 minutes.
issue, sir. So go to the PPT now. Okay, sir. So slideshow. Okay, sir. Fine. So please go to the third slide. So please move on your slides. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So
I think
start. I think you have to start from here.
okay. 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 Sorry. Really sorry. So I was talking about just point to me if some problem is there. So I was talking about traditional versus precision feeding. What's the actually traditional feeding? Sometimes we draw conclusion from many population, or rather one population having a large number of animal. On from there we draw an average or mean value, and mean based on their mean value or mean animal production or other milk production, we draw their nutritional requirement. But sometimes it leads to over or underfeeding. Overfeeding means if an animal is producing less than the average, less than the mean value, then that particular animal it will be overfeeding. And if an animal is producing higher than the mean value, then it is will be underfeeding. So nutritional requirement not a parameter of population. It is a individual animal requirement. So here it starts what is the meaning of precision feeding. So precision feeding is to feed as close to the exact requirement as possible. As much as possible, we try to match the requirement of animal, and this on such type of feeding is known as precision feeding. I have tried to just I can say difference in precision and accuracy. Accuracy is sometimes not precision. And best example, there are three pictorial presentation. In left side there is high precision and high accuracy, because these four targets or the four attempts at the same point and at the targets. That's why high precision and high accuracy. But here it is high precision because target is placed at one point, but this is away from the target. And the third example. So we should try to put precision, not for the exact accuracy in terms of animal feeding. In better terms, what is precision feeding? It is also known as information intensive nutrition or personalized nutrition. Nowadays, it is also nowadays used in a human being. Although this concept came from agriculture. So, what is the exact meaning of precision feeding? Right amount of feed, right proportion, right composition at right time. So, these four R's leads to formulation of precision feeding. Means if an animal is producing certain amount of milk, then she should be fed right amount, right proportion. Right proportion, I mean to say, suppose as best example is calcium and phosphorus. So proportion is 2:1. We should not try to 1:1 or 1:2. Right composition. Right composition means composition varies from a species to a species or animal to animal. So there is individual variation. Even in a particular animal, there is a variation in composition of ration or formulation based on their physiological stage, like once is in milking, in pregnancy, or dry, or heifer. So likewise, composition changes. And one more important thing is right time, and we must think, because at a certain interval, if you try to feed an animal, then gastric secretion will start. Suppose we are used to feed an animal at 10 a.m. and on another way, if we feed at 12 a.m., then will be digestive disturbance, as in case of human being, because there is a cycle. There is a I can say that is a body used to adapt that at particular time. She will or he will excrete or rather secrete digestive nutrients. So what is the history of precision feeding? So precision farming is an agriculture concept way back in I think more than a decade. And but in case of animal system, it was mm, developed by Sebald in 1979 in poultry, where the set up group of scientists, uh, cockerels means stage of chicken, were fasted for 24 to 40 hours, then forcefully fed a definite amount of the feed stuff under test by placing it directly into the crop, and amino acid digestibility was determined. So this is the initiation, the development of or concept of precision feeding assay in animal system. If we talk about what is precision nutrition, I can say this is multidisciplinary approach. This is not a single approach. Like as for example, physiology is required. Physiology is required. Best example is if a calf under 3 months of age, then it is that's GIT is like monogastric animal, human being or pig like. So there is a difference in feeding of calf and mature animal. Another one is macrobiology, particularly in case of ruminant. Whole digestive system, the carbohydrate digestive system, carbohydrate digestion depends upon microbes like bacteria, protozoa, and fungus. Another one is nutrition and immunology. If you feed certain amount or rather optimum amount of nutrition, then immunity will be boosted or immunity will be at proper stage and animal will not get sick. Molecular nutrition nowadays, there are many like proteogenomics, nutrigenomics. So based on this, molecular genetics or molecular biology is also involved in this precision feeding. Chemistry and biochemistry, certainly this is very much important. If particularly in case of composition of animal, like protein, composition of feed of an animal, suppose protein is being analyzed using biochemical process. So therefore biochemistry is involved, or any nutritional composition, it involves biochemistry. Mathematics and technological science, or rather I can say nowadays AI. So these are tools just to draw how much nutrients are required for a particular animal, for a particular physiological stage, like feeding standard. These are mathematical models, and certainly statistics and mathematical models are required to draw a conclusion, to draw a feeding standard. So precision nutrition is not an isolated subject. It has multidisciplinary approach, and we need to think. There are many more science involved in this precision nutrition. So what I need to do? Traditional nutrition that by farmers, and it is combined with other technological science. Traditional nutrition means suppose an animal lover or animal owner has maize, rice bran, wheat bran, or any mustard oil cakes. So they are using since many years. So these are traditional nutrition. But what I need to do with the technological science, with the precision nutritional tools, we need to try to optimize. We need to try to precise the nutrition. And so this is a combination of traditional nutrition as well as technological science. So precision nutrition is a combination of these two things, and ultimately it will lead to meet unique nutritional requirement, that is precision nutrition. What are the tools of precision feeding, particularly in animal? Precise estimation of nutrition requirement. What in earlier slides I have just narrated. Requirement calculation must be precise. Otherwise, if suppose I have calculated, or rather a scientist has calculated requirement higher than the required, then animal owner will feed at higher concentration, and certainly it will lead to obesity or other diseases. Vice versa, if an animal is declared that this requirement is very low, then farmers will feed them at low nutritional value, and it will again lead to disease condition. Another one is precise nutritional analysis. Suppose if I say a feed should contain 20% protein, this means requirement is okay, but content of that ration should be analyze precisely. Another one is precise ration formulation on available nutrient basis. Precise, sometimes I have observed farmers what they do, whatever they have, it they try to feed at their own level. Suppose they have maize, suppose they have another cake, just try to put them in any proportion and it leads to unbalanced feeding. Use of feed additive and supplement, there will be a slide in case of cattle, like toxin binder, like pellet binder, like flavor. These are supplements like mineral vitamin mixture. Feed processing technology like chapping, chopping, proper weighing and mixing of ingredient at farmers layer level. Sometimes it is not manageable. They used to like hand or any container, just they approximate like it will 1 kg or half kg or like way, but sometimes it is error prone. Margin, minimize the margin of safety. I will deal in particular. Sometimes what I do, being animal feed formulator, we try to add 10% margin. Suppose the requirement is 1 kg, we try to add 1.1 kg, so that if there is a loss, there is something, then this safety of margin or margin of safety will take care. But what farmers do, they also add margin of safety like 10% more. So it sometimes leads to overfeeding. Another one is phase feeding method. Another one is split six feeding method. These are nutritional requirement calculation, depends upon animal factor, and again it is genotype. Age, genotype means if animal is producing high like Jersey or HF versus our Desi cow. So this is difference in genotype. Age also is a great regulator of nutritional requirement. Sex, usually male require higher at a certain age. Body weight, higher the body weight requirement will be on higher side. Stage of production and reproduction, so production is high, requirement will be high. Suppose an animal is producing as well as pregnant, then requirement will be on higher side. Another one is external factor which is usually not addressed, like environmental temperature. If there is a high in environmental temperature, humidity is high, then feed intake will be reduced. Even if you try to formulate ration balance, animal doesn't consume as much as is required, and this leads to deficiency. Health status, suppose an animal is sick, then they will not consume feed as per their requirement. Husbandry conditions, like animal husbandry condition, poor managemental condition, place of keeping animals. Water intake, because water is the major component in milk. 70%, more than 70% milk is composed of water. So if there is a less intake in water, maybe due to hot weather condition, due to other condition, due to not I think clean water, so sometimes it leads to decrease in water intake, and finally it will decrease the production. Voluntary activity, this is precise nutrient analysis. So this is an old topic, rather I can say. There are many methods which can analyze the nutrient content of a feed. Anti-nutritional factors, we need to keep in mind anti-nutritional factors. Even you are from agriculture side. Best example is mustard oil cake. Mustard oil cake, you must have observed that this is being soaked in night by farmers before feeding it, because this contain one anti-nutritional factor which is known as glucosinolates, and glucosinolates is anti-nutritional, and it binds with iodine. Availability of nutrients, although this is very much pertinent in case of poultry, but availability of nutrients is very much important. Suppose we are feeding 22% protein, but availability is only 12%, then there is no fun of giving high nutrient content. Protein quality, although this is very much not important in case of ruminant, but in case of poultry, pig is very much important. Mineral content should be optimum, vitamin content should be optimum. Another one is ration formulation. Based on the nutritional requirement, based on the nutrient content of a particular feed ingredients, we try to formulate ration. And most important thing is energy density of the diet, because feed intake is being regulated by energy density. Best example in case of human being, I try to correlate. If we are hungry, we are very hungry, uh, our stomach is very empty. But once you take a sip of tea, or rather a sugar, a pinch of sugar or sugar water, you will feel that our stomach is full. So what happens? This energy is directly energy is sends signal to brain, and brains is falsified that the animal or human being is has full stomach, because brain has received sufficient quantity of energy. That's why energy density of the diet is very much important. If you increase the energy density of diet, then animal will consume less, and it will lead to deficiency of protein or other things. Protein and amino acid composition, there should be definite energy and protein ratio, because in case of young animal, protein requirement is high as compared to adult. Vitamin and mineral component and mineral content, it should be optimum. And water content, water should be offered to ad libitum. Although this is a statistical model, what we do in case of linear programming of a feed formulation, these are assumption. Additivity, additive means 2 plus 3 is 5. Proportionately 1:2. Divisibility, like 6 divided by 2. But there is constant. Although protein we can add, like 2 kg protein plus 3 kg is 5%, 5 kg. But in case of digestibility, it can't be added. This means in one, suppose maize has digestibility of 60%, or mustard oil cake has digestibility of 40%. So it can't be added like 60 plus 40, because once these two components are combined, then there will be definite or other different digestibility. So this is constant, that feed, particularly digestible nutrients, doesn't follow additivity, proportionality, or divisibility. So this is difference in traditional and precision formulation. So what we do in traditional ration formulation, we go for crude protein basis and lab analysis basis, or like energy basis. But in case of precision beating, because crude protein will ultimately lead to amino acid, that's why we are trying to formulate ration based on amino acid rather than digestible amino acid, ideal protein. So these are tools of precision. That means in case of traditional system, we feed crudely, like this much protein is required. We don't know how much amino acid it will be provided to the animal. That's why in precision ration formulation, particularly in case of poultry, we go for amino acid balance, particularly methionine, lysine, threonine, arginine, tryptophan. Another one is proper feed processing techniques. Like it's simple meaning, if I say that this is the method, and just you can say chopper. So if we decrease the size by chopping, it will increase the surface area, and once surface area is increased, then there will be proper digestion, because there will be higher surface area, or higher surface area for enzyme activity. So this will improvement in growth rate, improve feed efficiency, digestibility, and once digestibility is improved, then there will be less excretion of nitrogen, because nitrogen will be utilized in better way. Amida, am I audible now? Hello? Any participants?
Yes, sir, audible.
Sir, audible, sir.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Because I can't see a screen. This is one book I've authored in way back 2018 or 16, I think. This is forage conservation techniques, in which all techniques like hay, silage, haylage, these are discussed. Because recently I just presented one lead paper on fodder. So our country is deficient of green fodder, particularly from where I belong, it is 82% deficient. So imagine if fodder is deficient, forage is deficient, green fodder is deficient, how can you imagine higher production of animal system? So this is major constraint, and conservation and other techniques is being done in this way. Another one is, although who are related with animal science, aware mass feed versus palliative feed. Mass means nothing. If maize is broken or any powder is mixed, then it is known as mass feed. But usually our farmers do. So, but sometimes it leads to wastage of feed, like up to 20%, and particularly in case of trace minerals or minute minerals. Suppose we are feeding 50 gram of trace mineral or 50 gram of mineral. Sometimes it goes down due to a heavy or high density, and animal are unable to consume because there is sometimes proper lack of proper mixing. And once it is feed wastage, or sometimes it leads to decrease in feed efficiency, and there is limited feed intake. There is one more issue. Suppose I have observed it. Just you may try also. Just feed animal with maize green and a chunk of mustard oil cake or neem seed cake, like which is bitter in taste. Animal is so art with with the help of tongue. The animal will pick only maize and leave mustard oil cake. So it is known as preferential feeding. So mass has a disadvantage of preferential feeding, but the advantage is that many machinery or high end equipment is not required. Therefore, sometimes mass is produced at low cost, and it can be prepared. It can be prepared at a farmer's level, at farmers' doorstep as well. That's why usually our farmers try to have mass. What is pellet? Pellet is nothing but if mass is soaked in water and hydrothermal process is given, then it is converted into one chalk like a structure, that is pellet. Like you must have heard many name of Kapila, Sudha, Kishan. So this is nothing but that same mass is converted to pellet, and in particular machine, that is pelleting machine, in which hydrothermal process is applied, and there is dye. From that dye, this different shape or different pellet of different diameter is produced. So diameter extension decreases because once digestibility improves, then there will be less decrease of nutrient, and finally feed efficiency will be. Another one is use of feed additives. Feed additives and feed supplements. There are two different terms. Suppose one is known as basal feed, like what we feed rice, dal, and vegetable if we eat. That you can say it's basal diet. If you add ghee, sometimes pepper, sometimes pickles, like you can tell that it's additives. But the additives in real terms are those ingredient which helps in improving the value of that feed, that basic feed, or ultimately that additive will help in improvement in productivity. So these are like enzymes are enzymes is feed additives, like enzymes, cellulase, although it is produced in ruminant, but sometimes we need to provide the enzymes from external source so that digestibility improves. Probiotics, you must be knowing, that is lactobacillus, what we eat curd, that is lactobacillus, bacillus, sometimes Saccharomyces. These are probiotics, which is also known as direct fed microbes. Prebiotic is nothing but that is indigestible oligosaccharides, like menon oligosaccharide, fructo oligosaccharide, and it is supposed that prebiotics helps in proper utilization of probiotics. And another term, this is Symbiotic nothing but combination of probiotic and prebiotics and symbiotic. Acidifier, sometimes to lower the pH of digestive system, particularly in case of poultry, we use acidifier, the organic acid like lactic acid, like propionic acid, like acetic acid. So these are organic acid. Antioxidant, particularly in case of poultry. Suppose we are adding why? For increasing for energy production or other energy requirement, we need to add fat, and fat is prone to oxidation. That's why, or other rancidity. That's why we add antioxidant like um, vitamin C, vitamin E, ethoxyquin. These phytobiotics is nothing but uh, herbal things like in case of ruminant, as also we add turmeric. So certain biochemical compounds, some certain metabolites. So these all which has origin of plant is known as phytobiotics. Eubiotic is a similar term from plant origin. And in this area, I have edited two books. One is animal feed additives. So all kind of feed additives, 32 feed additives is being added in this book. I think this is 480 pages are there. Another one is feed supplement. So there is a certain difference in food additive and supplement. Suppose if we are adding common salt to our diet, this is supplement. If we are adding flavor to our diet, then it is additive. So supplement is nothing but the direct nutrient content rich, or if that compound provides direct nutrients. Like best example is common salt. Best example is vitamin, mineral mixture, amino acid. So these are supplement, but additive is non-nutritive substance, but finally helpful in digestibility or improvement in. So these two books, if you have interest, you can refer this. Feed formulations versus feeding. What happens? Safety of margin, what I have narrated before. We add safety of margin, but sometimes our farmers also add safety of margin, and it leads to overfeeding. And water content of feed is variable. Suppose what happens in case of nutrition, even in human also, we say that this much of dry matter should be fed. This much of dry matter means suppose 1 kg dry matter. But what in fact our farmers used to feed like green fodder. Although we say like 25% dry matter is there, but sometimes it is only 10-20%, sometimes it is 30%. So there is a variation in dry matter content, and farmers are unable to calculate this. So this is limitation of physical feeding. Water management is overlooked sometimes. Sometimes farmers offer water ad libitum. Sometimes they understand that water is available in plant material, so they don't offer. So water management is also very much important. Management system. So what, even in case of agriculture or human being as well as farmer, one feed formulator used to formulate a feed, but that end user is farmers, and sometimes they don't follow the instruction, like mixing diet error. Mixing diet, suppose in one animal feed, we say that 50 gram mineral mixture is being added, but sometimes they add, but mixing is not proper. If mixing is not proper, then only one bite or one animal will get optimum or rather higher amount of that mineral, and another animal will not. Management condition, because there is a variation in feed intake depending upon. Again, dry matter, it is very difficult to convert precisely. And sometimes if you try phase feeding a split seed, phase feeding is nothing but different phases of life, like calf 3 months, thereafter 3 to 6 months, 6 to 9 months, likewise. So different phases. Another one is a split sex feeding. Male and female should be fed differently or rather separately. Then it is known as a split sex feeding. Phase feeding, again, there is usefulness, improves performance, better economic return, less feed required, but limitation is that at farmers level usually they have to separate male and female, they have to separate manger for individual animal. So this is difficulty at farmers level, and again this is constant of phase feeding or other precision feeding, which is phase feeding is part of precision feeding. This is advancement of in precision feeding. I think this may be interesting for you, like AI system. Nowadays we are talking about artificial intelligence. So we can say this is primitive form of AI. So this is sensor based feed intake. There are two types of feeding. Suppose we are feeding one by one. One feeder is given in which certain amount of feed is added. Rather, we can calculate that body weight of this animal is this much, or rather we assume and feed. But this is handled by software. So this green, these are pictures of pig. So based on their outer circumferences, so AI or software will calculate how much body weight is there, and based on their body weight, certainly a certain amount of feed that is based on calculation will be just drawn in their feeder. I just try to calculate. Suppose body weight of this particular animal is 200 kg. So requirement will be according to 200 kg. Feeder is full of feed, but only certain amount like 2 kg is required. Only 2 kg feed will be dispensed, or the feed will be available to this particular animal. Suppose another animal is 300 kg. So 3 kg is required. So in this feeder, only 3 kg will be dispensed based on software. So this is known as precision feeding, and this is feed detect. Although there are many. So innovative feed sensor is innovative based on their body weight, based on their requirement. Just there is no need of human being to dispense feed. There is another one, that is Indra pork, or particularly this is in Spain. Again, based on their body weight, and this body weight can be calculated by manual method as well. On as soon as body weight is calculated, displayed accordingly, feed will be dispensed. I don't know. I have keep it now. I was in Florida, so I saw there is known as Kalan gate system. Kalan gate system is nothing but just imagine there is a door like this, like wooden door. This is closed, and there is a one chip there, and the animal has one chip in their neck, and once this chips match with this door, only then this will open. So animal owner or rather attendant used to put feed, like suppose it is calculated that this particular animal requirement is 6 kg dry matter, or rather 6 kg ration. So 6 kg ration is put in that cabin, or rather gate, inside gate, and that particular animal will wander here and there, and this gate will only open when this software, rather chips will match with this gate, and then this. So there is no chance of feeding of one feed by another animal. Means a feed is assigned, or a concentrate mixture or ration is assigned to particular animal, and gate will only open for that particular animal. And this system is known as Kalan system. And this is I observed there in University of Florida, and this is very easy. Otherwise, sometimes an animal consumes more than the requirement. Sometimes animal consume less than the required. Environmental pollution. Suppose in any human species or any human or animal, so if there is a high rate of absorption, there is a high rate of utilization, then there will be less excretion in fecal material. And likewise, if we feed precise nutrient, precision feeding, follow precision feeding, then there will be less excretion of nitrogen and phosphorus, particularly because these nutrients are very costly, nitrogen and phosphorus in case of animal being. And nitrogen particularly, or phosphorus, you must have observed. This leads to water pollution, and water pollution leads to death of aquatic animals. So this is effect of nitrogen pollution. If nitrogen is excreted in higher concentration, then it can lead to environmental pollution or nitrogen pollution. Another one is precision feeding to control pollution. This all precision feeding leads to improvement in digestibility. And once digestibility is improved, then excretion will be on lower side, or rather the requirement is fulfilled, so there is no need, there is no excess excretion of nutrient, and it can reduce the pollution or rather environmental pollution. This is again phosphorus. Phosphorus is excreted. Phosphorus is particularly very much important in case of poultry, because phosphorus, we try to supplement phosphorus by dicalcium phosphate, which is more than 55 rupees per kg. So if phosphorus is not utilized, then this will be excreted, and once it is excreted, then there will be loss of phosphorus, and there will be environmental pollution. And just I have given tax on over phosphorus excretion as in the Netherlands. Netherlands may in Netherlands country, if there is excess excretion of phosphorus, then the recommended level farmers has to pay tax. So this is such a strict regulation that you need to pay if there is excess, because there will be leaching of phosphorus, and there will be to go to aquatic system, and then aquatic system will be polluted. So these are some control mechanism. This is some data. So I think only few slides. Precision feeding advantage: effective utilization of nutrients and feed. So there is no wastage of feed, there is less wastage of feed or nutrients. So this is the beauty of precision feeding. Optimize production return. Again and again I am saying, no maximum, but optimum. And optimum is, I think, better word than maximum. Sometimes we need to optimize, sometimes we need to balance, because there are many advantages of optimum. Reduce feed losses, because feed is utilized properly. Profitability or economics is being improved, and finally it reduces environmental pollution. So these are advantages of. What are the challenges? Estimation of nutrient requirement of individual animal is very difficult for Boolean task. Reliability, like sometimes electronic devices is used, just I have shown InraPod or like alarm system. Sometimes if there is a fault in our electronic system, so whole system will be collapsed. So sometimes there is a chance of some confusion whether there is a fault, and reliability is again a question mark. Tedious management and cost effectiveness. Cost effectiveness means if you apply precision tools, particularly electronics tools, then it is sometimes very costly, and this is not feasible for farmers of few animals. This can be practiced using high number of animals. But precision feeding can be applied at individual farmers also. If an individual customer, individual farmers try to manage their farm using precision or tools of precision, or try to feed their animal precisely, then there will be higher profitability, there will be higher production, and there will be balance feeding and everything. I think will be taken care, and certainly economics will be improved. So this is last slide. I want to conclude. Precision feeding is the provision of right amount of food with the right composition at the right time of animal, right time to an animal, right quantity, right proportion, right composition, and right time. If you feed, then it is known as precision feeding. And precision feeding is an essential approach to reduce feeding cost, nutrient excretion, and if these two things, once we are cutting down feeding cost, and one another thing, we are reducing the excretion of nutrient in feces, then it will be economic, eco-friendly, and optimum. So that was all about from my side. Thank you very much. And this is another book, that is phytobiotics. Uh, I think 27 phytobiotics like neem, like curry patta, like turmeric, all like galactagogues. You must be knowing the like meaty is known as galactagog, means milk producing herbs. So all these herbs are being added, or this is very useful if anyone try to work on phytobiotics. So it is very useful for them. This is a book I have just shown. This contains all about animal feed additives. This is about feed supplement, and this is very old book, alternative of antibiotic growth promoters. Because European Union has banned antibiotic growth promoter in poultry, but in India still we are using, and antibiotic is very dangerous for human population because it leads to antimicrobial resistance, superbug, you must be remembering, and antibiotic residue. So we must not promote antibiotic in, particularly in meat producing animal or egg producing animal, because there is certain chance of uh, residue and resistance of antibiotic. And this book I have just narrated this. There are certain antibiotics which should not be used in any animal system. Otherwise, if you use, then there will be resistance. There are many cases of resistance in the honors. I can say patient is admitted in hospital, and he or she is resistant to all antibiotics. So one major contribution is our poultry meat, in which antibiotic is administered to improve the growth rate. So this is from Lambert, published from Germany. Thank you very much for your patience hearing. And, although there was clips in between. Thank you very much. Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very
Now,
much.